Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Dungeon Girls, which is on episode 2 in other cases, so Oratoria in other cases. Now, this episode right here, it's gonna be pretty simple. The way how I look at it, it's nothing really like big information or something big happening. But one thing I did to make sure to be confirmed about, which was shown in this episode, honestly, is that it is canon. I mean, it is canon, but it's just like just behind the scenes with another perspective of a certain group or another person, which a friend told me about, you know. And I just wanted to be sure about it to make sure I go like this is like actually like happening in the storyline in other sense, you know. So yeah, let's just get this started. We had to that the group does come back from like their expedition, and of course Loki herself, she's a pervert guy that likes to grab like the boobs of like many others. Apparently she's only able to grab Lafia in a certain sense, etc., you know. Of course Lafia does remember a couple words from last week's episode where Ice actually has some problems of her own in any other sense, and I can understand that in any other possible way. Sometimes, you know, she's just getting stronger just for the heck of it, you know, etc., and nothing more, you know. Of course, there are always a lot of scenes about like boob grabbing here and there, but like I don't care much about that because it was meant to happen. Of course, I had a feeling it was an ecchi kind of thing. When Ice herself is actually taking a look at her update on her stats, etc., it looks like to me like she's improving, but not too much of a big jump. Sometimes some of them goes up to maybe 5 points, some of them goes up to maybe three or possibly just 6, you know. That's how it works since she's really reaching her peak level right now, especially when she's at level 5, I believe, if I remember correctly. Of course, like when it came to the others, you know, one of them ends up selling some kind of like item to a shop of a friend, which is like really high price. She expected 10 million, but now she dropped it to 9.5 and later on to 9.2 at first, and then she agrees, you know. When it came to this unicorn thing, I don't know how rare it is, but I guess certain items tend to like have a big chunk of value, you know. And of course, like what's her name again? One of the big boob sisters, I think. I'm sorry. Tione, I think, was trying to sell that horn. And as for Tiona, she is trying to grab a new weapon because it got corroded in acid, etc., you know, which really sucks. And when it comes to Ice herself, she wanted to get her weapon repaired up and needed to get going because like how it is right now. Of course, when it came to a celebration at a tavern, of course, we get to see a scene where Bete is actually like dissing on Bell, saying he's so weak after seeing a Minotaur and he ran off or something, and calling him the tomato guy, you know. Of course, Bell ran off, and we do get to see him in this episode. So it looks like to me it is confirmed that it is actually canon, you know. I mean, besides this story of Ice herself or Sword or Oratoria. I think I should have figured it out like last week after seeing that scene with Belle being saved from Ice, but I want it to be confirmed for sure because like sometimes, you know, you don't really know like if this story is canon or not, but yeah, if you guys get the point of what I'm trying to get at here, you know, etc. Aside from all that, you know, Ice does have a couple problems involving maybe because she saved that guy. And of course, like one of our buddies, I think Alf herself, who's part of the Loki Familia, of course, tells her like you don't have to rush, you know. I want you like maybe you meet him again, you could apologize to him, etc. And of course, when I watched the opening of Sword Oratoria of Dungeon Girls or something, it is shown that like that she is training with Belle, you know, which shows that she will see him again. Well, of course she's going to see him again because this story is canon. It's just like behind the scenes or different kind of perspective from Ice herself with her Loki Familia group, etc. You know? And of course, throughout, after like Ice talking to Alf, you know, and we have to it that Lafia, Tiona, and Tione decides to like cheer up by taking out to go shopping. Of course, when it comes to erotic clothing, Lafia does not like that, you know. It was funny. And of course, there was one with Hestia's clothing, of course, and I just remember saying, oh my gosh, when I saw that scene when she was trying on Hestia's clothing, because this reminded me, like, how many years ago was this? Like, possibly 2, maybe 3 years ago. It's like 2017 that I watched this series, and then I heard this Hestia clothing has been like has been going on around, you know. I'm just thinking about mine. Oh man, dude, this has gone too far, you know. I remember back then when I saw Hestia in that clothing. I'm pretty sure it's been a big thing going around everywhere. Those of you who watched Dungeon Girls a long time ago, especially with Beryl Crano and then Hestia herself, you would know what I'm talking about. That thing was hilarious. Aside from me rambling on like a freaking idiot, you know, we have to it that Lafia was told. We have to it that Ice did tell Lafia that she wanted to cheer her up because she was feeling down, you know, and Ice kind of apologizes for not realizing that, you know, etc. And of course, we get to see Hestia in this episode too, which is pretty cool. And of course, the episode ends up with a certain way of like the Loki god ends up grabbing the breast of Lafia after asking her for help, you know, etc. It was just hilarious here and there after the credits, that is, you know, because she did that to her like at the beginning of this episode, and then she did it at the end after the post-credit scenes, etc. And the next episode, I think it involves about festivals and courage, you know, festivals and courage, etc. So overall, pretty cool episode, you know. It's just like we just see our like certain side characters and other characters just going to like around town, you know, getting the stuff, you know. Of course, I think Tione, the big boob girl, sold a unicorn horn, which is like 9.2 million, I think. That's a lot right there. Not to mention Tiona trying to grab a new weapon, and Ice herself trying to repair her weapon. So it looks like to me they're just getting ready for another expedition, which I believe it could happen, which will happen maybe possibly sometime this month to next month. Because I know the story is canon, but we gotta know, I don't know like when they're gonna stop, but yeah. So overall, nothing much really happening in this episode. Sorry for rambling on or something, etc. Until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye.